Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Folklore. Right now we're going to be facing a slightly bizarre part of this level. This is sort of like a challenge where they just tell you defeat this folk first and absorb its aid. Now, what you're actually supposed to do in order to get all of the folks that you need to do is ignore that and get fail the room and get the folks that appear in the very first room, because otherwise they don't appear in any other place in this entire netherworld.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain because there isn't a save point in front of this area. So this is another occasion to get those little mice guys. Yeah, if you go and what's even more annoying, well, I mean, it's kind of a requirement. If you absorb any folk other than the book, it's just going to restart it. Oh, and also, if you're wondering about the time limit, it means bugger all.
Really?
Actually, no. I did do some research, and it determines what kind of drop you're going to get off of this guy. However, if in case you're wondering, you don't actually need to finish him off within the time limit, which is good because defeating him within the time limit is very situational. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, because I have actually done this once. But it's not required for you to finish the level, which is what a lot of people playing this game actually thought, and yeah, it was a lot of confusion. Because, like, in a situation where you're like, oh god, I run out of time, you just leave the you would just like I did it at the first time around. I just left the room in order to restart them and re-enter it, and try to do it within the time limit. But yeah, as you see, it's very situational. He may just stall you out even with the minigame. But yeah, thankfully outside of the entrance, they don't give you any other place to go. Well, no, actually no. They do give you two places to go, but I think I distinctly remembered. Yeah, I don't know which one is actually the correct one, because I know for one of them it was just go to the west one. I think it's for the second time you fight them. And also, as far as I know, it's not just finishing them off within the time limit that gives you the drop that you would want. It's finishing them off within a certain time limit. And here is where I went off to do all of the side quests of this level. So yeah, this is the instruction on how to beat the boss. Sprinkle fish into ice, protect with a golem, and slash the heart. This area is so mesmerizing.
What's not?
All of the previous levels. It's above a certain number. Everything ties up.
Yeah. So you went the wrong way after all.
No, actually I didn't. The last time around there wasn't a save point. I distinctly remember that because I actually wanted to go back to the first area after seeing that I did not get that one folk. But sadly, I would have to replay the entire level from the start in order to get that one. I may just do it towards the end of the game. May not. I'm not.
You should, just to show it. You should.
Probably. I mean, like, getting all of the folks isn't impossible. And since I do have all of the DLC, I may just as well do it.
100%, baby.
But yeah, these guys, they are resistant to pretty much. They're resistant or don't get their ids popped out by anything but slash. So we need Omega to help us. You would think that destruction element would be effective against something made out of rock, but not the case.
Dude, haven't you played Pokemon? Water would be his weakness.
That's what I'm doing right now, but it isn't working. But also fighting would be his weakness, which is what destruction is.
Right.
And slash is normal elemental, so that's like the well, no, slash is normal type, so that's the last thing you would think of. And he just slapped those soldiers.
Clearly, the makers of Folklore have never played Pokemon.
They clearly did. So yeah, now I'm just looking for the last thing that I haven't tried yet, and it works. Now, the annoying part about these guys is that there is that book still floating around. And he will, in fact, interrupt you like this.
What a douche nozzle.
Yes. And there is no way of making sure that he isn't going to ruin your day. Because he's not very big. He doesn't get stuck on things. Unlike some other folks, like the little fuzzy guys. All you can hope for is that he's on the other side of the room and he doesn't get interested in whatever is going on the other side of it. That's all I can say. And also that the golem isn't particularly sassy about the shake and go. And now we can defeat the thing and move on. If you do try to absorb him first, the room is just going to reset.
What a shame.
Yeah, and it's really kind of asshole of them to not put a single one of those little mice in this location where you do actually have to defeat everything. That's just very inconsiderate. But yeah, as long as you don't attack Humpty, they're not going to bother you at all. And you can also just attack one at a time. Well, like activate one at a time, and just don't use electricity throughout the rest of the fight, so the other one does not get involved.
He just kind of jumped over all the little dudes.
Yeah, Humpty's pretty entertaining, the way he attacks. He's a pretty dodgy guy. Likes to jump around a lot. Thankfully, he doesn't have any invincibility frames outside of when he's not active and he cannot be hurt at all. Boobs is so great.
I love it when he just kind of dances out of the way of your moves.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty funny. Thankfully that didn't kill him, so I was able to get him. And now let's just get the fish. Oh no, you don't. Or, yeah, I said I was using the electrical books in this level. I think I only use them. During the side quests. Actually, now that I think about it, because here there isn't really anything that would work very well. This one can be a little bit of a clusterfuck, but as long as you prioritize one of the answerers, or invincibility Nazis, it's not a hard one. Just completely ignore the golem for the time being, cause he's the one that's going to take a lot more punishment than anything else.
Yeah.
But at least he follows some sort of nice rules about him being invincible. It's when the rocks are flying around, and not some bullshit just pulling out a knife animation that's overly long.
Instead, he has molecular shield.
Mm-hmm.
This allows him to protect himself while hurting people who try to dash into him, and also lets him OTG so he can combo.
Exactly.
There you go.
So yeah, if you abuse him enough, he's actually going to fall apart, which is quite entertaining. And I think... let me actually... No, actually no. For a second there, I was thinking that maybe like the rocks that fall, that just follow him around, are actually parts of him, but no, he just pulls them out of the ground. It's a shame they didn't do it this way. It would have been awesome.
Yeah. Makes sense that he would just use other stuff, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wouldn't want to destroy his own parts. That's a big requirement. But in general, he's just a shield. A pretty decent one at that. I do actually use him against the boss, like the book tells me to. You can very well just use a Patriot, or even Crenando from the first level, if you feel like it.
Why would you do that?
I mean, Crenando is actually functional for the purpose of that boss fight, because you don't need to guard for the longer periods of time. It's just like for a moment, which is exactly what Fernando does. It protects you for like a hit. You don't need to take in a lot of abuse. And also with them saying his ammo is increased, I have no idea what they mean with that. It really makes no sense with the way he works.
He can shield even better.
No, I mean like with the because I got the upgrade for the book. And,
oh yeah, right.
And the book says it increases ammo, but it honestly does not make any sense.
It can make 2 electro orbs instead of 1.
It can't. That's the point. I think all it really means is that it will work for a longer duration of time. But they could have just called it that. He's still paralyzed from that one shot I did on the form before. That's also a way you can tell which one is the one you were attacking. If you happen to inflict a status effect, but you shouldn't really depend on that. So that one's the real one. But yeah, this time around, I'm pretty damn certain I do not make it in time, but I still get to go through.
Wow.
And Boob's got
to sleep.
Yes. I find things like these in this game endlessly entertaining. How your folk will react exactly the same way as you would, or any other folk would, to an attack, which is being put to sleep or electrified or anything. Except, thankfully, them getting electrified doesn't mean you're stuck in a position or you can't use them for a duration. Asshole. So yeah, you see the timer is gone, but I can still defeat him. It's just really unfortunate that they did it this way, because it makes the whole situation a lot more stressful than it needs to be. Especially with this stop and go mechanic, which is just like, let me do it, just let me fucking do it. You asshole, you unbelievable piece of shit.
Now we're properly equipped to deal with the situation.
Mm-hmm. And thankfully, this is actually the new place where I was supposed to go, as opposed to the exact same one from before, which for a second there I feared it was, because you know this location looks exactly the same.
Right.
But thankfully, Livier was there to uncloud my doubts.